Hi, my name's Bryce. Welcome back to VHS Play, where we are playing Wild Arms 3 and recording it all on VHS. Last time, oh boy, I flew around the map a while and rambled about, hey, we're at the end of the game. So yeah, we're in the end game kind of cleanup mode right now. So here's a few things. You probably, if you've been paying attention to the numbers on the left side of the screen, hey, I have more numbers. That's up to 19. The gala count is up to what looks like a lot, but it's only a little over 1 million. Not quite the 10 million minus 1 that I would need to get to pay for the EX file key from the black market. So yeah, I've been busy. I've actually gotten to sit down and play this game and not record it, and just sit down and play it for multiple hours at a time and not be limited by the length of a VHS tape. And hey, this game's pretty good. So, oh boy. So yeah, I'm thinking what's going to happen is the end game content grind sort of stuff that I've been doing. I've got a couple of tapes on the sidelines that just have random bits. And yeah, it's been a thing. So, okay. Let's try to quickly, let's do a quick recap of the things that I have done. So, off screen, I have gone through and done the full world map thing. So let's do this on screen now so that I can just do this and not forget that I've done it. It's exciting when you spread open a map, Gob Gob. It's also exciting when you cross off areas you've been to, Gob Gob. It's even more exciting when you complete the entire map, Gob Gob. Would you mind showing me your map, Gob Gob? Congratulations, Gob Gob. You have traveled the entire map. Your dedication time has paid off, Gob Gob. Uncle Gob would like to give you a special something, Gob Gob. I have treasured it for years, and though it might be a little smelly, I'm sure it still works, Gob Gob. Well, hey, there's one of our EX file keys. So, yeah, that was just a matter of me flying around the map a lot, trying to find the one square that was hidden somewhere that I hadn't marked off, and I'm saving right now. So yeah, this is actually my second attempt at, oh hey, look at all these files over here. End game content times. Where I left off, I think last episode. That's, oh good god, that's been 8 hours. Mind you, the timer does not go up if you are in fights or menus or anything. So that is 8 hours of me meandering. Oh, buddy. So, yeah, it's been a time. Take care, Beep. Okay, so yeah, let's just take a quick gander around. Okay, so the plan for today is we're going to do the Martina storyline, which you might have noticed that she's just kind of standing there in town. Hey, look at this map, isn't it neat? It's all uncovered and stuff. So yeah, Yggdrasil Basin. This is where my last square was. It was somewhere around right in here or down here or something, but notice how there's this area here that I've just pointed my radar at, and it looks like a slightly darker square. Yeah, that blends in. Let me just fly a little circle around it just to make sure. Boy howdy, those squares. They look an awful lot like those sorts of squares that are just yeah, great, whatever. This is just part of the map. No, it was actually one of these over here. Looked an awful lot like that, but it was the last square I needed. That was a pain to find. Over here, you'll notice there's no more little dots on my map. I went through the Nidhogg Pass again, which I forgot was a lot of puzzles and movement junk to get through, so it took a while. because I just wanted to get over here because there's just an EX file key just laying on the ground. And in doing so, went back, checked Yggdrasil Tower to make sure that I hadn't missed any chests there. And there was a boss fight in this this place. It's called Green Lodge. It was one of the first like big swirly pit things that's just like, oh, there's something spooking around here. Use the Kramer dolls, it pulls out a boss. We'll go into that in the clips episode. So I've fought a few optional bosses. They'll appear in the clips episodes, and I decided to not do those on main camera, I guess, because you saw me fight the Kraken. It kind of follows that same style, where it's just like, at least now I'm properly leveled for it, so it isn't quite as bad, and it doesn't seem like anything has near as much health as the Kraken. But yeah, it still kind of follows that, figure out the rhythm, what does this boss do, okay, just keep doing these moves, whittle their health bar down until they die. So yeah, there's a few of those that will appear in the clips episode. Again, that's going to be a larger editing project, and I need to get something out for Tuesday, so this is that. Also, part of the reason that timer has gone up so much is because I have been doing a lot of checklist. and oh boy, I have got some stories to tell about this little thing. So hey, do I wish to know? Yes. 320 treasure chest, we found 310. There are 10 that I have accounted for that are in other places. As it turns out, we need to get to 319. That chest there that tells me that there's 320 in the world is the last chest. So there are 9 chests left, and it turns out they're in a dungeon that I need to go to. It's not the dream world stuff. As it turns out, Mimir's well. We need to go back there because there's just a bunch of treasure, and also we need to go put in that password MF, and to be fair, there's a guide that the guide that I keep looking at. They just said straight up, it's like, hey, put this into the terminal, and it's like, wait, where did this come from? And it's like, yeah, it was during the big cutscene of Virginia's stuff where it was on autopilot, and they specifically call out the password is tomorrow. So we need to go in there, put in the password MF, which there was a book or something that mentioned that a while ago, and we need to put in the password tomorrow to like actually get into that room again. Okay, so what else? Let's just go down the list of EX file keys. Mouse, where are you? So, located near Yggdrasil. We have that one now. Oh, right. There's another one that we just need to go pick up that, it gets confusing because I did this on camera, but I'm throwing out most of that footage. So yeah, this is my second attempt at recording an episode 97, I think is the number. And that is a factor of just like, what I was intending to do with that episode was go fight the adult mag, because hey, I had gone out and found an 18th what the hell? It's a migrant level. That's what it's called. So yeah, I got up to level 18 migrant level, and it was like, okay, this seems like a great idea. Let's go do this. And it seemed like a great idea, except turns out the adult mag is not just one boss enemy, it is 3 groups of 4 books that all do really just mean stuff. Hey, look, it's an EX file key. That's that. Speaking of migrant level, so yeah, this was another part of the map where there were just a couple little dots that I hadn't done yet. Right around here is where we picked up our final, or one of our final migrant levels. Apparently, I think we can get up to 20. Anyway. Oh, and much to my dismay. Yeah, the adult mag boss kicked my butt. So I'm basically that episode is just dead, basically, because it was like, hey, here's 5 minutes of me doing this stuff that I've been doing right now, and then going and fighting a boss and just getting completely destroyed 3 times in a row, and then just, I don't have time. Like, that boss is tricky. It's one of those that's going to take a bunch of time, and I need to make sure I have the time to do it. So, and it's also just a mean fight just because you are so outnumbered. Anyway. So yeah, it's been a time. As you can see, it's been like 8 hours of time not spent in menus, time not spent in fights. That's purely like the walking around outside time, and that is kind of gross. That I didn't realize it would take me that long. So, right, the treasure chest problem. In going through the list of treasure chests, I was basically having to revisit every dungeon, and I got to one of the later ones. I think it was the Demon Door Pillar Rear, where Clive is having a wobble, so you have to have like the split paths between the two halves of the dungeon, and there's like that one room where there's like identical sides of the room that one party goes through and the other goes through another side, and each side has 2 chests. And as I was going through it, it's like, okay, yeah, this is on the critical path. There's no way I missed any of these 4 chests, but, you know, just to make sure, let me go have a look. And it's like, yep, sure enough, empty, empty, empty. Wait, why is this one chest not empty? Turns out, if your inventory has too many items, say 99 heal berries or 99 revived fruits or 99 dragon fossils like I've had forever, and you get to one of those things and you don't have room to put it in your bag, you put it back in the box, and the box looks like it's opened, and it does not close again until you completely leave the zone and then come back in, and then it turns out that box is still closed, according to the mysterious black box that knows how many chests I've opened. So yeah, that was fun. Basically it turned into an, okay, let's go back to every chest that I've ever opened and see if I had too many heal berries at the time. It wasn't quite that extreme, but pretty dang close to it. I ended up going through all but like 2 dungeons a second time, and one of those was Nidhogg Pass, which I had already gone through a second time. I am face planting really hard right now, like, yeah, you can get around this game a lot faster with, being well over leveled for areas, and also just being able, thank goodness for this Exodus Orb. It makes it to where you can do a dive, get to the end of a dungeon, and then just bail. Also had a real fun panic with Serpent's Coils. Way back when, it's been 84 years, when we met Maya the first time, she, kicked some switch. There's basically a switch in there that opens a side path, and that allows you, it's basically a shortcut, but if you had not hit that switch, then you would be locked off from the back half of the dungeon, basically. So I had a nice panic about that. So anyway, that's what those 8 hours are for. Oh boy, we just crossed over the 42-hour mark. Hey, it's Cheville. Even after the sun rises, I am unable to light my path. Eyes which have stared into darkness long enough, are blinded by a ray of hope. And Martina, what you doing out here? She looks exactly like my mother. Let's try not to use Virginia's voice. And coincidentally, I apparently look like her late daughter. I understand her pain and loneliness, so I wish to be by Chevel's side for a while. Perhaps I can ease her pain by doing so. It did cross my mind that I might be doing more harm than good for Cheville. But when you're down in the dumps, it makes you want to cry out emotionally to someone. And since I have been treated very kindly by others, I wanted to give something back. Interesting. Okay, and then this is the part where we go to sleep 3 times in a row. Right, I was going down the list of EX file keys and stopped after the first one. So the first one was just like the one that was sitting out in Yggdrasil Basin that we needed to go to. And that I did all off camera because, boy howdy, Nidhogg Pass is a pain to get through. The one that was located at Sunset Peak, we just needed to run into the clock. We ran into the clock. We found it. I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to find that one. I wonder if somebody in one town just has like a random thing to say about it. But yeah, sure. That was was that 3 or was that 2? We're staying one more time. Because anyway, we need to get our berry counts up. Oh, hey, that's number 3. So next EX key on the list is breeding all 8 plant types up to 100%, which I am getting pretty close. We are, if we look at my inventory, you can see it's been kind of dismantled a bit. And also here's some cool things that I found. You know, let's just sort this. So some of the cool things that have happened. We're up to 18 migrant seals. We're up to 5 EX file keys. That's cool. Hey, look at all these things that I still need to equip on myself sometime, but I don't want to do things wrong, so it's kind of a paralysis of choice. Oh, man. I'll get to it, I swear. I swear I will get to it. Before the end of the series, probably before some of these more difficult boss fights, I will get to it. Okay, so we have all of the things that you're used to seeing. Here's a new one, the Prism Stick. We got this from one of the optional boss fights. Just gives us SOS FP boost, which I think somebody already has. Magic Candle, we got that from one of the boss fights. It would have raised the encounter gauge charge after battle, which that's pretty cool, but not entirely useful. This is, Elder Record was just one of the treasure chest rooms that I had missed. That was like, I think in Fortune Gear, actually, at the end, there was like a button on a wall I needed to run into. Power boost, I think I've just found those. Ebony Shadow we got from one of the optional bosses. It gives me this Arcana blocker, which is pretty rad. Just defends against Arcana relative FP. That's cool. Comet Mark we got from the Kraken. Pocketbooks will come in handy at some point. Misanga? I don't know. I don't remember if we had that or not. Dragon Fossils I only have 27 because I went and actually developed some things for my poor sandcraft. Largely just to make sure I didn't have all of the Dragon Fossils in case I happened to come across any in my treasure chest search. Robber's Ego was just a treasure chest I missed. Yeah. That's cool. We also have this gold license, a membership card for all shop guilds, 50% off all items. So good news, We only need 5 million money in order to get the EX file key from the black market. I don't know if that one will happen. Just straight up. However, that does also make the black market versions of various rings more viable to get. I need to double check the prices on what they do, because I really wish I could sell that one to black market and buy more, but yeah, I don't think it's happening. Yeah, I don't need any more fire rings, honestly, probably. I need water. Like, I still don't have any water rings. So I'll need to track those down. I think it's basically dive into the abyss, and a lot of these things are kind of easily available. I missed a real easy chance to get more of these defense rings, and it's a very easy to miss chance, and it's like a permanent lockout because it involved Deus Ex Machina, that dungeon, the one what I exploded. So, yeah. Oh, hey, you're still here. Alright, maybe need to reload the zone. Classic Dark Souls sort of thing. Reload the zone to do the things. So anyway, I mentioned there, breeding all 8 plants, we're nearly there. I only need to get full carrots and tiny flowers up to max. As you can see, I now have 50 mini carrots, which is great. Only one more lucky card. I'm gonna have to really decide where to spend that one. Gala cards, I need to just burn them, I think. I actually have a pretty good idea of where I would want to use this. So there's a money-making trick in the Abyss. There's some enemy in there that will steal 10% of your money. If you kill it before it runs away, you get that back. If you, say, use something like a Gala card on it, then you get that back times 2. If you also use pocketbooks and the ability they give you to have, a chance to double money, then I don't know if it doubles, which would be, 4 times. So yeah, it basically turns 10% of your money into possibly 40% of your money. So yeah, that's a lot of money real fast. Even after the sun rises, I am unable to light my path. Blah, 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 same as she was saying before. Cool. So, back to Martina. Okay. Real quick, rest of this list. There's the black market EX file key. It's going to cost 5 million. That's basically what I would need to do with that money trick, is go make a ton of money so I can buy this EX file key. Doing the Abyss in its entirety, that seems like it's going to be really hard. I don't know if we'll get around to that, but I'd really like to give it a shot and just see how it goes. There's the one involving all the treasure chests. The dungeon that I have yet to go to, that has the last 9 treasure chests. So, just need to go there. All the Millennium Puzzles, we already did that. Every single space on the map. And I just want to point out, in this guide, it is every single space capitalized. Big caps on that. And I agree. Hoo boy. So we just did that one. Martina and all of her quest, that's what we're doing today. All of the adventure books, that is going to involve taking out the adult mag. That's where we get the last book. And we have one more book to find, but it is in one of those aforementioned 9 treasure chests that we still need to find. Go to some specific place. Right, that's the refight that one snake in the desert. That poor poor little creature that's just like, oh, I'm just gonna hang up here by this little ring. I'm so fancy, and shoot, that poor thing. It just destroyed in one attack. Anyway, we did that one. So we have the Ariok side quest. I have a tally here. In the 8 hours that I've been doing random stuff, I'm up to 14 of 100 of those battles. I don't know if I've got the patience for that one. Well, we'll see. It's definitely an off-screen sort of deal. Gunner 7, again, would really like to do it. It seems like it will want to get at least up to level 75, probably, for that, but also, it's getting real hard to get levels. We're up to 73, 68, and why, Jet, are you at 65? Like, I know why, but also, come on, Jet. You're holding the team down. So, Gunner's Heaven, that's one. Telepath Tower is another side quest that is just, it's going to take time. I don't know if I want to do that on camera or not, because that is also just like, go do a bunch of fights. There's also apparently like an experience gaining trick with the telepath towers. Like once you get to a certain point, some enemy can spawn anywhere, and if you can spawn that and fight it, then you're all good. And yeah, basically though, like, it requires some important, or some equip item that I don't have yet, and you've seen how I am about equip items. So I don't know. We'll see about that one. And that's the 14 that we can get until the actual end game. The last EX file key, we steal it off the final boss, which I kind of love. Another use for pickpocket. That poor skill that doesn't do a dang thing for the most part. Anyway, let's go find Martina. Okay, so we've seen her in Claiborne, Westwood Station, Little Rock, Little Twister, Humphreys Peak a second time. And apparently, at this point, she's gone back to Jolly Roger, which makes sense. That would have been the next stop on our journey as well, because we had to go on foot all the way out to Humphreys Peak, and at that point, we fight the. We should have fought the. Oh, I don't remember what it is. The ground dragon thing that we had to like fight on horses, to draw out. We're really close to Jolly Roger. Again, I have a teleport orb. I don't know why I fly around sometimes. So we would have had to come back here to get our Sandcraft. Who are you, Volks? You look real familiar. A flower's beauty may fade, but the splendor of memories doesn't. They grow out of our hearts and into beautiful blossoms. Memory's flower takes root in the earth of its hometown, and sways graceful in its winds. Lots of people have tried, but only one who really helped Amelia was herself. You know the words, face reality? It's used more as an excuse than anything, but it's actually true. Facing reality means to accept in your heart the truth of what's around you, step by careful step. Alright, so supposedly Martina should be in the saloon. maybe she hasn't made it. Maybe it's... It might be that she needed to leave Humphreys Peak, and then we should have done the resting. Oh. Right. I'm behind her shop. Alright, let's take a moment, go back to Baskar Village, sleep in a bed there, because that is the fastest bed to sleep in. Sleep in there 3 times, go check in on our garden, so we can show that little bit of grind off. Oh boy, this sure is a PS2 era RPG. The end game grind, like, it's enjoyable. Like, I've really enjoyed Wild Arms 3, and it continues to be a good amount of fun. But also, boy howdy, 8 hours of grinding later, and all I've really done is finally track down which treasure chests I had tried to open. So, yeah, let's... Trying to remember how many treasure chests I hadn't actually opened. There were a bunch. In, I think it was... it was like the Ruins of Dreams or something. Apparently there was just like some... one of those like wire walkways that you can jump up to with the spring boots. Just did not occur to me to do that, and there were like 5 it's either 5 or 6 treasure chests up there. Like, there was a lot. Then there was the one in Demon Door Pillar rear, and then there were like a good 3 or so in what was it? In like Fortune Gear, that was just in a room that I didn't even realize there was like a switch on the wall to hit. Nice. 6 mega berries. Finally getting into more than like 1 or 2 at a time. So, yeah, this is what grinding looks like for the garden. It is just going into this menu, taking everything you've gotten out, throw it right back into making it better. Which, it kind of has an exponential, like, acceleration sort of thing, because, you know, now, like, every one of those items I throw in gives me an extra % of chance of one of those spawning whenever the time ticks over. So it makes sense to just go and pour them all the way right back in to make it to where we'll get more faster, so that we can pour them all right back in to make it where we'll get more faster, etc., etc. So anyway, that's the flower breeding. Working on it, we'll get those carrots, we'll get those tiny flowers up. And then I'm going to replant that entire garden to determine what I actually want. There you are, Martina.
O Lord in heaven, I thank thee for sharing thy water with me. Oh, hi there's folks. Long time no see. We've had quite a dry spell, so it's hard to scoop up any water. But if we start believing that this will never give us any water, we would be less than gracious. Makes me sound smart, doesn't it? Actually, Chevelle told me that. Chevelle sent me a letter to thank me, so I wrote this reply. I'm so glad we ran into each other in the wasteland. I won't forget how we cheered each other up.
Alright, so... Yeah, geez. Trying to think back into that weird space between things where... Like, we would have just gotten the Sandcraft after going back to Jolly Roger. Which means we could have gone to, like, the Arc of Destiny, and that leads us to basically trying to get into Yggdrasil. Which eventually drops us off into Chapter 3, where everything gets real, open-ended. So the way Martina's quest kind of works with her moving around, it follows the same pattern as like the quote unquote time passage counter, I guess, for that's used by the gardening as well. So every time I stay at an inn, it gets me like 20 points or something of time passage. And Martina takes about 60 points, it looks like, to move from place to place. So, yeah, at this point we would have had our Sandcraft, we would have been basically, able to go a lot of places. But there's only really 2 towns on that list. Yeah, see, like, just those 4 times of staying in an inn, we already have another 3 berries, another tiny flower, another full carrot. So yeah, that's flower breeding. Probably gonna stop checking on that between Martina bits in this episode, just because it's pretty grindy, and if I'm cutting out boss fights for being grindy, then I should probably cut out menuing that's grindy. I should also really probably just stop flying places. But I like flying, the music's good. Like, it's one of those things, like, I think this is one of those things that Final Fantasy just kind of stumbled on, and they realized it was a really great thing. In the first game was the moment, like, you're traversing over land, and then you get a canoe so you can traverse down rivers, and then you get a boat so you can traverse across seas, and then you open up what's blocking you from getting out into the outer sea, and then you eventually get yourself a flying machine. And it's just fun to fly in RPGs. Like, I don't know, it's one of those, like, simple joys. I looked so hard for the thing he dropped, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm good at finding stuff, but this village was tough. No, I'm sorry, I couldn't find you a present. That's it. Give your mom this flower here in my bag. It wasn't expensive or anything, but it's pretty, right? It'll warm her heart, I'm sure. If I could give you this for you to give to your mom, I'll be happy. Tell her how much you care, okay? Righto. Oh, wait. Apparently we need to talk to somebody that's not Martina for this quest. Who the heck is Dave? I'm willing to guess that was the extra kid that was out front that I did not talk to until he's gone.
How much does it actually cost? I just don't want to spend money. Like 600 gala. That's highway robbery.
But no, I do want to like hold on to my money to go do that money trick so I can... It would be really nice to just have that ridiculous amount of cash that we can go buy that EX file key. And also, why stop there? Let's go ahead and get all of the money so that we can readjust all of our arms. And, you know, I can stop being a coward about equipping things like finest arts on Clive. So actually, earlier today, I had tried that. I finally got around to saying, you know what, no, I'm going to do it. I put finest arts on Clive, and I reset his bullet count on his gun. Oh, as it turns out, when you are upgrading arms and you do the initialize, it is not full initialization. It initializes one of the specific upgrade paths. So, reset his bullet count, put it all into attack, and basically got him fully upgraded to the point that it was like, okay, he is a master of attack, got his critical rate up to like 1.0 or whatever, and equipped him with finest arts and the comet mark so that his attack would be even higher. And it turns out that is not entirely useful when trying to fight, say, a group of 12 enemies. So, yeah, that adult mag boss is just rough. Anyway, we're going to Laxus Land next. It's about the only... It's about the only town left that we have to go to. Hey, you're out and about. You may stand and chit-chat till your throat goes dry. I, Galahad, shall ride forth and slay the dragon. Ha ha ha! The very thought shivers you to your bone, does it not? Indeed, the name Galahad shall live forever in legends told to countless generations yet unborn. And what of your story? Well, perhaps it may occupy a footnote in the pages of my epic tale. You're a jerkwad.
I think it's pointless to fight, such a waste of time. But if you absolutely have to, you'd best finish what you start. Don't be a loser, you hear? One more thing. The most important thing about a fight is what you do afterwards.
That's a little on the grim side.
Ventura! So I hear you destroyed the first telepath tower. But this is just the beginning. The towers are the eyes of chaos. All told, there are 15 of them. The forces of chaos silently watch us through the towers all over the world, and they are biding their time until they can release the King of Beasts from the cage of darkness. The King of Beasts sleeps in the deepest darkness underground. He was born from chaos in an age long gone. They seek to unleash his plague on Filgai and the entire galaxy, and then they will rule us all. Nerd.
I'd sure love to see something new and exciting once in a while. I'm feeling this way doesn't change a thing, because nothing's gonna happen. I'd never be disappointed if I remembered how to keep my expectations low.
Howdy. If you're needing warm food and dry bed, you've come to the right place. I've no idea what our legends are trying to say, but I think it's important to pass them on. I believe we have read all this before.
Alright. Oh, hey.
Is that Martina? Martina, where are you? There's Martina, just at the foot of the bed. Did not see her at all. No. Mom, please don't leave me. Please wake up. Ian found a letter from Auntie that will get us back the store, so please come back home. I can't believe there's no doctor here with my mom so sick. What should I do? I don't know what to do. I don't want my mom to die. Well, heck. We were just having a nice adventure trying to, track down Martina, but now, heck. Okay. Let me just space out for half a second there. Yeah. Well, let's go pass some time. Getting real good at getting to this bed in Bhaskar Colony. Oh, there's been so much sleeping in this dang bed. Just trying to poke the breeding, like the gardening breeding stuff up. It's like I've been trying to just kind of do a bunch of things all at once. It was like, okay, you know what? If I'm going to have to go through it like every dungeon again, I might as well take like the fights so that I can, occasionally run into the Ariox. And fights count as some unit of time passage, so that will help with the breeding. Not nearly as much as just sleeping in a bed a bunch. Been trying to get use my summons to get the MTC stuff up. And yeah, it's been a time. It's been just a lot of sleeping in that bed, passing time, and going through every dungeon again, trying to track down all these stupid chests. The most frustrating one was I had tracked down one of the chests I missed, and it had a revive fruit in it, which I've been capped on forever. So I got into a fight to use a revive fruit, because you can't use a revive fruit in the, in just a menu. You have to use it in battle. So I got in a fight, used the thing, and then forgot to check the chest again, because again, the chest does not look closed until you leave the area entirely. Out of the zone, back to world map, then return to treasure. So, just whiffed it, forgot to open that chest, and it was the one that I needed to find last. Well, looks like nothing. Alright, this is what I get for looking at a guide very half-heartedly. We actually need to go to Humphrey's Peak to talk to, we need a doctor. Guess who's a doctor? It's Chevelle. We knew Chevelle was a doctor. Dahoy, let's go. What? Martina's mother is sick, and there's no doctor there. Thank you for letting me know. I will head to Lax's land right away.
Alright, now we should be able to do the thing.
We came this far because we could help each other out. No way could we have done this alone, so I don't want to let you down. I know you're trying hard, Mom. Remember, I'm always by your side. Ooh. Martina, help cheer your mom up. I'm sure she'll hear your voice. Believe in her, child.
I really kind of wish there's not really a kinda about it. I really wish I had managed to keep on pace with the Martina side quest along the game, because like it does follow the route that you go through the game up until, like, even now it's following that. Like, what am I doing? But yeah, like it follows the path of the game. Just flat out. Like, you meet her in Claiborne, she goes off to the station, where you then go off to Little Rock and Little Twister, and oh wait, no, that's the trick. She went to Little Rock and then back to Little Twister. Okay, so that's where things kind of fell apart. Would I have ever had a reason to go back to Little Twister? I don't remember that being... It's so long ago, and it's all that Chapter 2 nonsense that lasted forever. That, and I kind of broke that chapter a little bit in half with like an unannounced, unintended trip out to the secret garden to unlock it. Oh. What am I doing? I have an orb that will take me straight there. But yeah, it would have been great to have followed this story throughout the entirety of the game instead of, like, losing its thread somewhere along the way and now having to pick it back up and just, like, do this really awkward, like, go, talk, leave, do the things.
I'm so happy. Now we can go back to Claiborne together. Thank you, Cheville, Ian, and everyone for helping me. It was all because of you, and I'm glad I found the strength inside me to come all this way.
Hooray.
Thank you so much for all you've done for me and Martina. Stop by our saloon in Claiborne. We'll welcome you with open arms. It's been a while since I worked so hard, but I'm glad I could save a life. It's been so long, I almost forgot how good it really feels.
Well, hey. Don't mind me, I'm just kind of looking at this other screen. Making sure. Alright. Maybe. We might need to go past the time one more time. But we might be at the end here. Hooray!
Thanks to you, all of you, my mom and I have safely returned to Claiborne. I wish I could repay you for your kindness and support. Oh, yes, I found this key during my travels, but I would like you to have it. Isn't it sparkle mystifying?
Ba-da-da-da. There we go.
How nice to see you. How can I help you today? It was a shock to learn what my sister had done. But still, I trust my sister. Martina is the one who suggested we go find her and start over. My daughter looked me straight in the eye and said, if you give it your best, your feelings will become known. And that's when it occurred to me that I had never expressed my true feelings to my sister. I too wish to live with Mira again, so that we may work on sharing our feelings. I'm worried about my auntie. I've heard she left for Little Twister after leaving the saloon in our care. I plan to go see how she's doing once my mom feels better.
Okay, just couldn't remember if I had ever gotten around to using the change crest on whatever animal was in Claiborne. Oh, another fun thing that I did as part of that 8 hours of random grind was going down the list of locations where duplicators are and making sure that I hadn't missed any. Which I had, of course. That was just another fun list to go down and just be like, okay, did I do the thing? Did I do the thing? And it ultimately came down to there were some chests I had missed. And again, it basically always comes back to that one fortune gear. I wonder if she'll actually be here.
I'm so glad you're here. Won't you stay a while? Should one be criticized for rebuffing others? I think the only way to know who you really are is to establish walls around people. These scam artists who use the catch line like, let's understand each other, are the ones who should be criticized.
Very well. She gone. Oh wait, there she is. Have to go out to the secret back route. Is it this house? It's this house. I can't believe I was found out. But I have to hand it to Martina and Milieu. They're both so nice. They even wrote me a letter offering to live together again. Oh hey, it's Ian. That's who Ian is. I can have the world at my feet any day. Well, I haven't done it yet, but I have every intention of doing it someday. I'm not like the others. I may be here now, but I know I'm destined for greater things. Alright, well, there we go. Wrapped up the Martina storyline, got ourselves another EX file key, so that is 3 that have been grabbed in this episode, 1 that has been grabbed in between episodes. We're up to, what, 6 of them? Why is it? I can never find it in this list. Or EX file key. We're up to 6. So we need 8 in order to like actually do all the things at the end. Yeah. Like I'm still really enjoying this game, and like something about like having like that not 6, like quote unquote 8 hours, which has been a lot more hours than that, I guarantee. The timer does not go while you are in menus or while you are in fights, so that's 8 hours of like timed time. Brutal. But yeah, like all that time spent just like sitting down and just playing the game and not recording it and like whatnot. It's kind of the first time I've actually like gotten to sit down and just, you know, play this game for a number of hours and like actually play it. That wasn't, I mean, about the only other time I've done that was like when I did that an amount of grinding, because when we went to Glittering Emblem, that place kicked my butt so hard. Just, I'm still, boy howdy, that place. It's like going through that treasure list and it's like, oh right, Glittering Emblem, that one. That's the place that made me run all the way back through the Sand Canal twice. Like, that's about the only other time that I've actually, like, gotten to sit down and play this game, like, on my own time and, like, just kind of dig in. But that was all, for the most part, in service of a single thing. And that single thing was just doing that one grind of, hey, I'm folding laundry anyway, I might as well grind so that I can, like, you know, get through this Glittering Emblem place. And yeah, this game has still been just like a lot of fun. I really do dig it. Yeah, I guess that's the end of that train of thought. Anyway, I don't know what's going on next time, and I don't know when I'm going to kind of have the clips episode of like all the random things that I'm doing as the end game stuff, but I do have plans to just kind of go through and here's this boss, here's their trick, and just kind of show off a bunch of the things that I've been doing off camera that I think just kind of are kind of grindy and I just kind of want to do them. There's a dungeon I do kind of want to get on camera, so that might be next time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play. Have yourself a lovely evening.